Your Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of Federal Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Mohammed Ghazouani, the President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and the Chairperson of African Union, Your Excellencies, fellow African leaders and heads of states, His Excellency, Your Excellency Mr. J. Banga, the President of the World Bank, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As an opening, it is an honor and privilege to participate in this great occasion of the discussion of the African leaders on the future of financing of our common development agenda with the President of the World Bank, his senior leadership team and donors. Instead of well-replenished IDA21 means more opportunity for investment, job creation, economic growth, and effective response to the devastating global shocks like the climate change, which hampers all our progress despite our minimal contribution as a continent. Essentially, in this age of increasing global uncertainty, socio-economic, political, and security risks like the Red Sea crisis, as well as the enormous development financing need, we must ensure IDA21 becomes the main vehicle to support sustainable development. Without this, almost all developing low-income nations will struggle to deliver progressive changes from the offset. I wanted to thank the government and the Republic of Kenya and His Excellency President William Ruto for hosting this critical meeting on IDA21 replenishment and for bringing us all together. I also wanted to recognize the visionary leadership of His Excellency Ajay Bang, the President of the World Bank Group, who has demonstrated that he is firmly committed to leading a responsive bank that delivers results through the evolution roadmap. It is encouraging that the World Bank is listening, learning, innovating, and acting to provide a tailored context-specific support for our most urgent priorities to spark growth in Africa. Somalia and IDA for Somalia. IDA is a major lifeline that we are relying on enabling our ambitious national transformation agenda in these hopeful and post-debt relief priorities. IDA's impact on Somalia are enormous and include core institutional and system building, culminating in the achievement of heavily indebted poor countries have a completion point in December 2023. Up to 20% of the Somali population have benefited from the World Bank funded activities in Somalia since 2018. Approximately 69% of these beneficiaries were poor people living with small children and were affected by the drought, floods, and a locust infection in many parts of Somalia. Support to the rehabilitation of access roads and climate resistant infrastructure in many parts of Somalia and many municipalities in corners of Somalia bring various benefits to millions of people, including internally displaced people, IDPs, that had migrated to urban areas due to security, natural disaster events. provision of effective livelihoods and life-saving assistance to our citizens throughout the triple crisis of climate shocks, locust infestation, and COVID-19 pandemic. Essentially, IDA in Somalia has meant more vulnerable people out of extreme poverty, more social protection, and women and children are focused on supporting government institutions by helping those vulnerable groups. Despite our successful decade-long economic reforms to achieve debt relief throughout the highly indebted poor countries initiative, HIBIC, we remain among most fragile states in the African continent and the world. Without doubt, Somalia has come a very long way from where we were on a decade ago in terms of macroeconomic stability and socio-economic development. We also have exciting and empowering plans to keep the reform momentum going on, to lock in the vital gains we have made and build on them for a transformative change. However, these efforts require resources. Accordingly, we require the upcoming IDA21 replenishment to be of the scale and ambition that will help shift the situation from fragility to resilience and growth in Somalia. And this can only happen through greater investment in human capital, infrastructure, social protection, job creation, increasing affordable energy access, and building resilience to the disastrous and disproportionate impact of recurrent and cyclical climate emergencies in my country through IDA 2021. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as a government, we are truly committed to build on the economic reform gains from the debt relief process by the future. Further enhancing domestic revenue, mobilization and strengthening public and financial management, debt management, and deepening financial sector development in Somalia. We are cognizant that the most reliable income for the nation is what it collects from its citizens and investors to reinvest the priorities and the public service needs accordingly. With a focus on clear laws and more efficient and effective tax administration, we are steadily growing domestic revenues. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude that IDA is a tool that helps Africa to progress, and in particular Somalia to move forward as fast as we can. Adjustments, tolerances, and flexibility is what is required in the years to come to benefit from the IDA resources. Again, I would like to thank the government and the people of Kenya for providing us this opportunity to discuss about the future of our nations in economic development. I thank you.